Sorry if there's any noise in the back. My sorority is having university sing practice, but I'm going to start now. There's a clock in Times Square that has 7 years on it. Do you know what this clock means or what it's pertaining to? This clock has 7 years because scientists say that in about 7 years and 106 days, we will no longer be able to reverse the climate change and damage that is happening to our environment today. What if you couldn't swim in the ocean anymore because it was too polluted? What if you couldn't go skiing because there was no snow? There are 3 main problems globally today that are contributing to this kind of climate change: overpopulation, air pollution, and the use of paper and plastic products. The consequences of climate change could be disastrous, and I feel it's important for everyone to be educated on this topic and the problems that we're facing today. The world we live in seems very normal when you live in a place like Norman, Oklahoma. Most of us can walk down the street and not even think twice about the topic of overpopulation, but it is happening. Overpopulation can be described as excessive birth rate all around the world and can also lead to things such as deforestation. When you think about it, the world is only so big and there's only so much land to offer. However, every 8 seconds, a new baby is being born around the world, totaling 130 million babies each year. Lack of housing and food is already a problem in this country and in other countries. With a growing population, degradation of the environment is growing worse. Urbanization has led to deforestation with the need for more buildings and factories in larger cities to support the population growth. Have you ever been to New York during the summertime? If so, you'll notice that it's outrageously hot in places like Times Square where the urban heat island is in effect. This term describes the heating up of a surface or area due to the high-rise buildings that trap heat and also produce greenhouse gases. According to Doris Boss, cities produce about 80% of our greenhouse gases in the environment. These gases can increase the chemicals found in our water and other ecosystems. This is an even bigger problem in developing countries that aren't worried about climate change and have no environmental policies in place. This has resulted in places like Africa and China, where about 60% of their water is undrinkable and meets the minimum standards for what water should be for human intake. Growth of cities also punishes animals. It takes them out of their habitats and can lead to mass extinction. Vanessa Bird claims that around 1/3 of mammals face extinction as of right now. So as we can see, the effects of overpopulation could result in serious consequences with biodiversity and clean ecosystems. The world is one big game of Jenga, and after too many blocks are pulled, the entire thing can come crashing down. Air pollution is also an adverse effect of overpopulation and urbanization. But it's probably single-handedly the biggest problem we face today, and I feel it's important to go more into depth than previously mentioned. Air pollution leads to climate change, and climate change can be very detrimental. Climate change has an effect on our plants and our humans. Everybody is affected by this phenomenon. Nils Zimmerman writes that there is too much carbon in the air. He claims that fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial activities have pushed up the atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration and that this could result in climate disruption. Zimmerman also states that 1 in 9 deaths in 2012 were caused by carcinogens in the air and other pollutions in our polluted air. Air pollutants can also result in weather changes, making the natural disasters we experience much more detrimental to our land and our buildings. Think about the last tornado or hurricane you thought of and all the damage that took place. That could be multiplied by 10 if the atmosphere keeps changing the way it is. These weather changes are caused by a hole in the ozone layer. The ozone layer is a crucial part of our environment because it protects us from the ultraviolet radiation that the sun produces. That can be very harmful to us. Teresa McCamer from the Smithsonian Magazine says that at the 7-year mark, our baseline temperature could rise up to 2.7 Celsius degrees Fahrenheit for our baseline temperature. This results in sinking ice caps and global warming, which is a huge problem. The U.S. Clean Air Act has improved air quality over the last 40 years, but climate change that is a result of our pollutants in the air could make it much harder for us to get clean air in the future. Right now, we are in the middle of a pandemic where we're forced to wear masks for our health, but this could be a new norm in our air quality when it becomes as bad to where we can't breathe. The last topic pertaining to this is plastic and paper pollution. When was the last time you drank a water bottle? This is one I was just using about 20 minutes ago. Where do you throw away these items? Do you have a recycling bin in your dorm room or college apartment? Well, these products can be very damaging to our ecosystem. Non-Plastic Beach states that it can take hundreds or even thousands of years to break down plastic that it becomes into our environment, and this can cause long-lasting environmental damage. Plastic contains toxic pollutants that negatively affect humans, animals, and plants. The article also states that toxins work their way up the food chain. So whenever a fish eats something that's plastic, the toxins are also transferred to you and you can ingest them also. Some people would say that paper is another option that is a good alternative to plastic, but coffee cups are a perfect example as to why paper products can also be damaging to the environment. About 16 billion coffee cups are used every year, and this also contributes to deforestation because about 6.5 million trees are cut down as a result of this, which contributes to air pollution and the deforestation problem. However, there are ways to curb these problems. And this is something I feel that other people should know too. Windmills and solar panels are a great way to provide clean energy and reduce air pollution. It's just they're on the more expensive side, so some people would say that they're elitist. There are paper products that are biodegradable. However, unless some big changes are made in the near future, our environment will stay in the same position we are now. But being educated on the subject can help make people have better decisions and conscious choices about the things that they're using and doing. Think of your dog or cat at home, or your most prized possession. You probably look at it as a fragile being that you want to take care of. Well, that's how the environment works too. We have to make active choices to take care of it, but that can't happen until we're all educated. The environment is a well-oiled machine that comes together in every way, and climate change is a real thing that is happening today.